New at 11.
Flash flood warning.
Line after line of heavy showers moving through. Now local creeks are rising fast.
And I'm tracking more heavy rain headed our way from Tropical Storm Andrea.
A presidential visit.
Hello, Morrisville.
Children who stood just feet away tell us what it was like to meet the president.
Shoplifter shooting.
A bystander opens fire when a man robs this Belk store.
I mean, this is not the Wild Wild West.
Why that quick-thinking shopper is now the one facing charges.
This WBTV high-definition program is sponsored by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas. WBTV News at 11 starts right now.
Waves of heavy rain moving from the south to the north across the Carolinas tonight. Power Doppler radar shows we are under a flash flood warning until 1 a.m. And it is all part of Tropical Storm Andrea. Good evening and welcome. I'm Molly Grantham.
I'm Paul Cameron. Welcome. Just as we come on the air at 11 o'clock, there's new video from Far Mill Road in Cabarrus County. This road is closed tonight because of the heavy flooding from Back Creek. Emergency crews in Concord are monitoring the situation. Now, from the sky, rushing water caused rapids on local creeks. This is Little Sugar Creek through Midtown. As you can see, the greenway is underwater. And we saw high water on McAlpine Creek as well. Some new video shows churning waves down at Wrightsville Beach, and surfers are not heeding the warnings to stay out. Many of the surfers said they'll be back there tomorrow morning. We have team coverage tonight as the storm turns towards the Carolinas.
Brigida Mac is where local streams are already flooding, but we begin with Kelly Franson tracking Andrea in the First Alert Weather Center. Kel?
Well, you mentioned that flash flood warning. That is for Mecklenburg and Cabarrus counties until 1 a.m. But the flooding concerns go way beyond just those two counties. Take a look at the radar. You can see that huge area of rain in South Carolina that is pushing our way. We'll give you a little local look. Many of us just dealing with light rain right now, but of course we've had heavy rain earlier. I mentioned that flash flood warning for Mecklenburg and Cabarrus. Problems with creeks, Mallard Creek, Back Creek, Irwin Creek, Little Sugar Creek. Basically any creek in the area could be rising. Flash flood watches extend until tomorrow evening. We also have another flash flood warning up into western Ashe County. That's in effect until 12:30 a.m. We also have some flooding advisories now for Avery and Mitchell counties. So flooding concerns really across the board as we continue to see more rain move in from the south. So where is Andrea? Well, I just got the 11 p.m. update. Andrea centered right there, has weakened. Wind speeds now at 45 miles per hour, but it was never really the winds that were the biggest issue with this storm. It is the rain. A lot more on just how much more to expect coming up in your full forecast.
Kelly, thanks. And now is a good time to download our weather app for your smartphone. You can keep track of Andrea and any flooding it could cause here in this area.
Look at the high water rushing along the Little Sugar Creek Greenway. People were told not to come to some areas of Freedom Park tonight. New at 11 o'clock, Brigida Mac talked to those. Surprised to see the water so high. Brigida, how is it now?
Well, Molly, let me give you a little perspective. If I can have my photographer Sean pan down, you see that stick right there? That was where the water was at 10 o'clock tonight, and I am standing in the flooded walkway area, so it has receded a little bit. But here's the concern. We're in for another round of heavy rain. We saw it again and again. Folks hoping to spend some time outdoors at Freedom Park Thursday, only to be turned away. The park closed because of the high waters of Sugar Creek that runs alongside it. The swollen creek barely contained by its banks. The fast-moving water so high it nearly reached this bridge and completely covered part of the walkway popular with runners like Brian Garrett.
I just wanted to do something different today, so I decided to come down this way.
But Brian would have to take a different route this time around.
I didn't expect it to be actually flooding the actual path, so I'm a little surprised at that, the amount of rain.
The heavy rains also caused the waters of Briar Creek in East Charlotte to jump its banks, covering grassy areas and a parking lot. More video from Sky 3 shows part of Sugar Creek flooding the Greenway in Midtown.
I knew we were getting a lot, but not this much.
But others like James Watts and his wife out bike riding.
We'll find another way around.
Live next to Freedom Park and aren't surprised by the high waters.
Anytime we've had really big rains, though, it's really narrow, so it fills up fast.
Meantime, Brian just hopes we dry out in time for his daughter's graduation this weekend.
Hope for the best, because we have a lot of outdoor activities, family coming in from out of town, and I hope it doesn't get rained out. We have to take everything indoors.
Back out here live, you are looking at a live picture of Little Sugar Creek. You can see the fast-moving waters, but I got to tell you, I'm taking a look at the bridge behind me, and I can already see it's gone down a great deal. Of course, there is a whole network of sensors monitoring all of the county's creeks, and you can imagine those folks have a long night ahead with this next round of heavy rain from Tropical Storm Andrea. We're live in Dilworth tonight. I'm Brigida Mack, WBTV, on your side.
Brigida, thank you.
Now, folks who live on Mountain Island Lake are also watching this very closely. About 80 homes damaged when the Catawba River overflowed just a month ago tonight. Along Lookout Shoals, people also on alert. The lake had extensive flooding. Some homeowners are paying as much as $10,000 just to fix last month's damage. Duke Energy controls water levels in both lakes. A spokesperson tells us the company is managing the flow of the Catawba River as best as it can. Now, we just checked lake levels for Mountain Island, Lookout Shoals, and Lake Roadhiss. None are at flood stage, but they are all above the target range and nearing full pond.
And to our south, this storm is already blamed for possible tornadoes. This is Gulfport, Florida, near Tampa. High winds ripped this tree down. It shattered the side of a building. Andrea's storm surge hit Tampa this evening, flooding streets. It turned a lot of them into rivers. This is the downtown area of Tampa. Some people even used inner tubes to float where cars usually drive. We are committed to tracking Tropical Storm Andrea for you. Depend on the experience of the First Alert Weather team, and tune in tomorrow morning as David Wisnick, Christine Nelson, and Ashley Beatty follow the storm and its impact here. WBTV News this morning starts at 4:30. The latest coordinates, wind speed, and forecast track for Andrea are available right now on our website, WBTV.com. Now to the presidential visit. President Barack Obama unveiled a new national education initiative today based on a program developed right here in the Charlotte area.
Rational number you are.
This is like Schoolhouse Rock.
The president joked with students as they showed him their laptop computers. He toured Morrisville Middle School this afternoon, and WBTV was the only station to broadcast his entire speech to students and teachers. During that speech, Paul, the president unveiled a program to modernize schools across the country called Connect Ed. President Obama wants to connect 99% of America's students to high-speed internet within 5 years, and he's directing the federal government to make better use of existing funds to get internet connectivity and technology into classrooms. Well, as you saw just a moment ago, dozens of students flanked the president on the stage in Mooresville as he delivered his speech. All new at 11, they told David Spunt what it was like to be so close to the commander-in-chief.
It's always a great day to be a red imp.
And with those words, President Barack Obama touched the ground in the Charlotte area for the first time since the DNC. He landed at Mooresville Middle School to talk technology and even more technology.
How do we make sure Americans have the chance to earn the best skills and education possible? That's why I came to Mooresville.
Obama praised Mooresville for being one of the only districts in the country to not only issue a student a laptop, but to allow them to take it home. Students who sat just feet away from the president say they'll take his words home with them this summer.
The fact that we have all this new technology makes it so that we can, learn more stuff and have access to more things.
The president also laid out a plan to have more fiber optic cable in schools and even replace textbooks with iPads and other similar technology.
I think it's a big deal for us schools.
Some local high school students showed up to sing the national anthem before the president's speech. We spoke with one of those singers, Sierra Key.
We've been preparing for this all week, and it was just an awesome feeling to get up on that stage and perform at our best. We definitely sound the best we've ever sounded.
In the end, the president said his priority is the young faces that looked back at him during his speech.
That's why I'm so proud of all of you here at Mooresville. Congratulations, everybody. Have a great summer.
David Spunt, WBTV on your side.
And some big-name celebrities also in the crowd at today's speech. Recognize her? Of course, if you're a Homeland fan, you do. Cameras capturing the president shaking hands, getting a quick kiss from actress Claire Danes. She's the star of Showtime's Homeland, which films here in Charlotte, currently under production. And we've been told the president is a big fan of the show. We have much more coverage of the president's visit on WBTV.com. See his entire speech, view a slideshow of his visit, and watch behind-the-scenes footage as he meets with the students. North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory is also talking education today. He wants the state to take a closer look at testing and
our schools. The governor says 30 new tests were given to public schools in grades 4 through 12. That brings the total number of standardized tests for this year to 194. McCrory says he's hearing from teachers who say they'd rather spend more time teaching instead of teaching to the next test.
An investigation underway tonight into a deadly shooting involving deputies in Caldwell County. Deputies called to a home on Grace Chapel Road. When they got there, they heard shots coming from the basement. Deputies say they shot and killed the man when he pointed a gun at them. The man died at the scene. His name has not been released.
The TSA found a loaded gun this morning at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Here's a picture of the loaded 9mm. An agent discovered it at a TSA checkpoint. We're waiting to hear if the passenger will face charges. This is the 13th gun confiscated at Charlotte's airport this year.
Next at 11, a shoplifter hits a Belk's department store, and when police arrive, they arrest one of the witnesses who saw it happen.
Exclusive video shows two men robbing a convenience store and the clerk's decision, which sent them into a violent rage.
And we've been tracking waves of heavy rain throughout the day. We're about to get a much larger area of steady rain, courtesy Tropical Storm Andrea. Those details coming up.
You're watching WBTV, the best choice for news at 11. We're back right after this.